So then, the Atletico and Arsenal game has finally come to an end as it ends 1-0. And you guys are probably expecting me to come in and say, oh, we just watched awful football. Oh my God, yesterday we watched some insane football, one of the best football we've ever seen. And today it was just bad, it was harambe, etc., etc. But I'm not gonna say that because I think I had fun. I'm not gonna lie, I think I had fun. Yesterday, I think people are comparing this to yesterday. Yesterday, the football we watch, we won't watch it again, guys. You gotta keep this in mind. That football, that kind of football, doesn't happen often. It just doesn't. It's like a one-off thing. We saw it last season against Barca Inter, and we saw it this season with Bayern and PSG. It doesn't happen often. It probably won't happen for another 3 seasons, another 5 seasons. I won't be surprised if it doesn't. But today's football, I think, because we watched yesterday's football, today's football felt bad to us, but I don't think it was bad. I think it was a great game. I think it was the VAR took the headlines. Of course it did. But I think I had fun watching it. I think Atletico with some great attacking today. They had some great attacking efforts. Of course, they only scored one goal. I think they could have scored at least two. I think at least one more they could have scored. I think the score could have ended 2-1. And Arsenal as well. I think although the attacking wasn't good, I think the defensive efforts were great. The midfield of Arsenal with Declan Rice. And I think Zubi Mendy wasn't really in the game, but I think Eze when he came on and Declan Rice, they were decent. And I think Saka as well showed glimpses of being good, but of course he wasn't really that influential. I think Gyökeres was more influential. I think he was brilliant. But let's get into the game. I think of course the first goal came with a penalty, which is a penalty. It's a penalty. It's a clear penalty. But I would like to go back to the quarterfinal when there's two hands on Danny Olmo and he was sent down by Lorente and squished between two players, and he wasn't given a penalty in the box. But this was a bit harder. Of course, it wasn't as soft as Lorente, but he did have two hands on Olmo. So I think there's a bit inconsistency in refereeing. But I think this is a penalty. It's a clear cut penalty. Of course, Gyökeres, I think he's one of the best penalty takers in the world. I mean, you guys can laugh, but I think this guy's penalty technique and the way he takes his penalty, he's just blasted, bro. Like, you can't save it. You cannot save it. Like, you can get Oblak, bro. He's one of the best keepers ever. He gets the right way, and he still couldn't save it because of the power Gyökeres just puts into his penalties. It's insane. Great penalty, and Arsenal go 1-0 up. And then Atletico get a penalty of their own. Of course, the first half I think wasn't that good. I think it was all right. I think it was like kind of okay, like a 6 out of 10 kind of thing. I think the second half when Atletico had started attacking and pressing, it was great. And the penalty gets called on a hand by I think was it Ben White. And Lorente shoots, it's cupped the shot, and it hits his leg and then goes into Ben White's hand. Right, it hits Ben White's leg and then goes onto his hand. Do I think it's a penalty? The thing is, right, they gave the penalty yesterday to Alfonso Davies, right? When it his leg and his hand, which I don't think it was a penalty. If it hits your leg and then hits your hand, I don't really see the point of getting a penalty there unless it's like unless the hand is hanging out here and it's completely in an unnatural position. Then you could say okay, but I think here at first I thought if it hit his hand directly, I think it was a penalty. But because it hit his leg and then his hand, I don't think it's a penalty. It's not clear cut penalty. But since it was given yesterday, they have to give it now because they have to have consistency, right? And so the penalty was given, and Alvarez, I think, a great penalty. Send Raya, just Raya just stood there. I think Raya was trying to go left, but of course Alvarez put it. Raya's going to go to the right, but Alvarez put on the left, and it was an easy pen. So great pen from Alvarez, and the main man. He's got 10 goals now, and he's actually the quickest Argentinian to 25 goals, even quicker than Lionel Messi, which is crazy. So and he's done it in 41 games, which is very insane. So great penalty from Alvarez. I think Alvarez was pretty good today. I think he was getting up great positions and he was playing some great passes. And he was brilliant today. And it really shows the world that Julian Alvarez is a serious striker, man, serious player as well. A great penalty. Then we go into the second half. In the second half, I think it was great. I think I expected more goals because I think there were about 20. I think there were more shots today than they were yesterday. Of course, the shot on target yesterday there were 13, and today I think there were about 6 or 7. So it's half. But I think it was some great play on display, especially from Atletico. I think Atletico really stepped up in the gas, and I think Anton Griezmann today was brilliant. He was doing his flicks, the way he was taking positions, some of the through balls, some of the line breaking passes he was playing through. I think that was just brilliant. I think Anton Griezmann today was like prime Anton Griezmann that we talk about back in the World Cup days, bro. Back in like 2018, Anton Griezmann. I think he was brilliant, and I'm really gutted for him because I think he could have got a goal today. I think he could have got a goal today. The shot that hits the post, I think that could have been a goal. Even the one where as soon as he hits the post, it goes back um onto I think it was Bulgaria, and he puts it back in, and Alvarez tries to volley because he gets space in the box and he just misses. I think Griezmann though, overall, even though he didn't get a goal or an assist, I think he was brilliant. And I think Lookman as well. I think Lookman had two good chances today, but one of them I think he should have put away, where he kind of just gets the ball. I think, was it from Alvarez or was it Griezmann again? I think it was one of them. He gets the ball on his feet. He just couldn't get the angle and open his body up to get the shot off, and that's why he sends it straight to Raya, and I think it's an easy save. But I think Lookman, if he scored that, I think that would have been great for Atletico. But looking at it from Arsenal's perspective, I think they were great defensively today. I think Saliba was good. I think Gabriel had his moments, but I think he had a great block on Griezmann in I think the first half. Um, where Griezmann had two chances to put it away. One was saved by Raya, and I think it was a great block from Gabriel. But I think Gabriel and Saliba both were pretty good today. But I would like to see a bit more ball progression from them. I think both of them really lack that kind of line breaking pass. I feel like every time they get the ball, they either flung it forward or give it to their right back or left back, right? So I would really like the more ball progression, maybe even not from both of them, but one of them where they can play those line breaking passes and maybe start attacks. That might help Arsenal. And of course, I think keeping Eze on the bench I didn't really understand that because I felt like Odegaard has been awful this season, and even last season I don't think it was that good. But this season he's been awful, and there was no point of getting Odegaard on the pitch today. I think Eze should have been on the pitch since the time since the game started, sorry, and he should have been in starting 11 because I think as soon as he came on, Arsenal got that spark in the attack again. Of course, there was then the controversial penalty call, right? Let's get to that. So for me, at first, I thought that was a penalty because I thought he stomped his foot, he got to the ball late, hit him, and as he goes down, and I think that's a pen. Now, of course, he goes to the monitor and the referee checks it about 13 times. I don't know. I've seen some close-ups of the shot, right? I don't know if there is a stomp there. But I do think Hanko's got away with one. I do think Hanko's got away with one because he gave away a penalty against Gyökeres, and I do think Hanko has got away with a penalty called there because I think although it was soft, I think it might have been a penalty. I think it should have been a penalty on Eze because he hits him right. He doesn't get the ball. He's late to the ball. It's a bad challenge. I don't know why Hanko made that challenge. It's a bad challenge. It's bad defending. It's bad anticipation of the ball. Eze gets there as quick as possible, and then he hits Eze's leg. And yeah, Eze doesn't need to go down. It's a soft challenge, but is a challenge, is inside the box, and he doesn't get the ball. So if you go by the rule book, that is a penalty, even if it's soft. So of course, the referee went to the monitor and he changed the decision. Of course, influenced by Diego Simeone, he was screaming, and today he was so he's just the original Diego Simeone. Diego Simeone was just Diego Simeone, wasn't he? He was just screaming. He was on in the ears of the third official. He was in the ears of the referee. He does what he does. He's dark arts, right? That's what we call that. So I think Diego Simeone also kind of influences decision, which he often does, right? We're used to that. So, but I think for me, I would have given it as a penalty. I see why it wasn't given, but again, if you go by the rule book, I think it should be a penalty, right? I think the referee just saw that. I think the referee didn't really see a stomp and thought that it was too soft to be given. So it is what it is, though. But I think Arsenal should have probably got a penalty there. And then other than that, I think the game was. I think the game was. It wasn't as fun as the 9 goal thriller. But let's be honest, there's never going to be as fun, right? It was never going to be as fun. But there's players I would like to talk about. I think Saka, his cameo was decent. I think he coming on from Madueke. I think Madueke, he had that one cross in where he kind of dribbled to two players and tried to whip that cross in. But other than that, I think Madueke wasn't really that good. I think Martinelli as well, just awful. I don't think he was good. I think both the wingers were just not really good. I think Gyökeres was the only attacker that I really thought created some great. I think he created one great chance, and of course put away his penalty, won the penalty, and then put it away as well. Um, Saka for me, I think he had glimpses, but again, just expecting more from Saka. I mean, the amount of hype and the amount of things we expect from Saka, I feel like this season we just haven't seen. And I know he's been injured, right? And I know he hasn't been fit, but you still expect that if he's back now, just like you should be doing good now because it is crunch time. It's semi-final of the Champions League. You expect a bit more. As for Arsenal's midfield, I think apart from Declan Rice, I think everyone else wasn't really good. I think Zubi Mendy and Odegaard, as I said before, didn't really move me. I think Zubi Mendy, I was really expecting Zubi Mendy to really be good this game because I felt like today it was against Atletico, it was against a Spanish team. Zubi Mendy playing for Real Sociedad has always been good against Spanish team, right? All this talk is about on Zubi Mendy is always about, oh, Zubimendi, he can't really, would you say, adapt to the pace of the Premier League. And today he was not playing in the Premier League, right? He's playing against a Spanish opponent. He's played against them quite a few times. He's done well against them quite a few times in La Liga. So I was expecting a good game from Zubimendi today. But I think, again, he's just disappointed. And I just feel like he's too overwhelmed. I don't know if it's a system. I don't know if he's not being used right and he's not been given that confidence by Arteta. But I feel like he just seems low on confidence right now. And I think Arteta really going into next season needs to fix that because I think Zubimendi is a brilliant player. And when he plays at his best, I think it doesn't matter what league it is, I think he can do very good. Right. I think Declan Rice, though, I think was great today. Although you do see in the second half that Declan Rice, he's losing his stamina now. He's been worked so hard throughout the season being the main man in the midfield, at times being the main man for Arsenal, period, right? And I feel like it has gone to him, and he is losing his work rate. The amount of running he does, he just can't do anymore because the stamina is not there. He clearly just looks tired, right? He needs rest, and I think he's gonna have to get rest, especially to go with England and play the World Cup. Other than that, I think, so, as I said, Saliba, Gabriel, I think they're brilliant. The fullbacks for me, I think both teams. I think Bulgaria was decent for me. I think Koke as well was decent. Molina was all right as well on Atletico's side. Whereas I think Hincapio, he had his movements, but again, I don't think he didn't really move me much. Ben White as well. I don't think. I think they just. I think Ben White and Hincapio, they really lack ball progression and helping in the final third. They're good defensively, or Hincapie is, but I think they really lack going into the final third and like changing the game. I think they lack that part of the game, and I think Arsenal's fullbacks in general do like that. And I think Lewis Miles Skelly last season had that, right? He was great in the attacking third. He was decent defensively. But again, he's not been used this season. I think Calafiori as well, when he is at it, he's great in the attacking third. But again, he's been injured. And Julian Timber is not really good in attacking third, right? He's only a good defender. But when it goes to the attacking third, and Julian Timber, again, you could ask more. Of course, but he didn't play today and he's also been injured. But other than that, I think this game's, of course, it's not going to be a 20-minute video like it was the 9 goal game. There's not much to talk about. It's a lot of decisions that are probably going to be spoken about. But I do think this game was a fun watch. I enjoyed it, right? I enjoyed it. And I think it's, people have this narrative about Atletico and Arsenal that, oh, they play haram ball. Arsenal does, right, at times, but I think they didn't play it today. And Atletico, I'll have you know, have the third most goals in the Champions League. More than Barcelona, more than Real Madrid, more than Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City. These guys have the third most goals in the Champions League with 34 goals. Atletico don't play harambo anymore. Atletico play proper football. They play attacking football nowadays. If you watch them in La Liga, you watch them in the Champions League. These guys don't play harambo anymore. They play proper football. And that's how they score 5 against Real Madrid, 4 against Barcelona this season. They've been absolutely scoring against any team that comes forth, right? And their attacking prowess is brilliant. I think if Griezmann continues this level, he's a big threat. Alvarez has always been a threat. I think Lookman's an insane, very, very good signing, right? And I think Simeone as well on the right wing is brilliant. So those are my thoughts. So let me know what you guys think. Like, subscribe, comment down below what you guys think, of course. And I'll see you guys in the next week's Champions League fixtures. Or actually, I'll see you on the weekend because it's Barcelona playing. See you later.